Hi, loved ones. I'm Lumea, and thanks for tuning into my channel. Today, I want to talk about expectations. What are they? And how do we manage them? And I want to talk about this from, a material and a spiritual perspective, because I think that it's important to have balance in life, and we are both. So, when it comes to expectations, what do you expect from yourself? What do you expect from others? Do you feel like your expectations are realistic or outrageous? When talking about expectations from a more material perspective, let's say that you're in a relationship and you expect your partner to read your mind. Ladies, I'm talking to you, right? A lot of the times we expect that our partners are just going to intuitively know what we need, anticipate our wants, which isn't always the case. That's why communication is essential in a healthy relationship. And in toxic relationships, you usually get poor communication or none. So as a result of that, your expectations are not being met because you're not really expressing them, right? So expectations need to be communicated when you are inviting another person into your life, your world. You have a world inside of yourself and you have an objective world that you both interact in. And so it's important to communicate when you are trying to maneuver to this objective world, and you have your subjective expectations. Your expectations probably come from your childhood, things that you've experienced throughout your life that you may find is a better way of doing things, or maybe you just have more knowledge on a particular subject because you have greater interest in it. Either way, your partner may not have that, and they may not see the world in the same way that you do. Typically they don't, so it's very important to explain those expectations. When it comes to dating, right, I want to talk about the beginning of a relationship, when you are just meeting someone and you have these expectations. Knowing a person and allowing them to just be themselves and exist in this space is a part of being loving. Giving someone the space to be authentically them is such a rarity, and it's such a pleasure, and it leads to a very healthy and fulfilling relationship. So communicating those expectations early is a thing. I mean, if you like to sleep in and, on the weekends, you don't get up till 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, that needs to be communicated. If you like to have sex multiple times a week, that needs to be communicated. If it's once a month, that needs to be communicated. And once these expectations are communicated up front, you then can enter into a relationship with somebody, and there's really you're gonna find things out about a person, because that's just you can't communicate all of the expectations realistically up front, but you can get a lot of the major ones out of the way. Like, do you want to have kids? Do you not want to have kids? How do you feel about starting a business? Would you rather work a 9 to 5? Like, what is important to you? And this is why, especially when it comes to dating young, a lot of people don't know themselves. And so some people got into marriages at 15, 16. Well, I don't know about 15, 16 marriages, but maybe they met when they were 15, 16 and then got married in their early 20s and had kids. And they never really found out who they really were, and who they are is connected to this other person that they've been with, or connected to their family. And I was having this discussion with my friend the other day, and she's like, that's kind of sad, don't you think? And I'm like, yeah, no, it's just, I don't really see it as sad, but I see it as an aspect of an experience. But what I do find sad is that this is an expectation that everyone is trying to strive for. You meet the love of your life when you're like a kid, and then you fall in love with this person, and you're with this one person for 70 years, and then you guys die right next to each other, like this is the Notebook or something. And it's like, how often does that even happen? But either way, setting those expectations when you are in relationships are important. Once you know yourself, I'm talking to people who who know themselves already and who may have already been in long-term relationships, maybe have been married, maybe have had, some kids, and now they're going about it in a totally different way. And there's just an awareness on what you expect from another person. Now, you can't have these unrealistic expectations either, because, people are not machines, and this is why people are concerned about AIs replacing lovers and things like that. There was somebody put a video up and talked about people getting like a divorce because the husband cheated on the wife with like the robot maid or something like that. And this is just all made up stuff, hypotheticals, so to speak. And I'm like, is this the way the world is really going? I hope not, but hey, you never know, but a lot of people can't handle the rawness of human emotion. And so they would rather program a machine to do what it wants it to do than to have to deal with the range of the unexpected. The human experience comes with flaws, but there's learning in that. If the world was designed to be perfect, then it would be. But then you wouldn't evolve, you wouldn't learn, you wouldn't grow. The challenge is where you grow. Managing your expectations allows you the space to grow properly. Because sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. Sometimes you're going to get your way, sometimes you won't. And you have to live with that. You have to live with delays, setbacks, and you have to keep pushing forward in your journey, in your experience. That's just a part of life. From a spiritual perspective, knowing the world from the inside out is a gift. Once you have tapped in to the awareness of your true self, you are now in a position to create the life that you truly want. You can communicate with your guides, your loved ones, and they can show you a better path in life that is going to be a lot more fulfilling than you could have ever fathomed. Now, managing your expectations and understanding that you're on divine time, not your own time, is a hard one. For our spiritual folks out there, we see the 111, 222, 333s, the 123s, the 11s, 1, 2, 3, 4s, and we're like, okay, all right, where is it at? What are you trying to say? What are we getting at here? You done been through hell. You've already been through 2 dark nights of the soul, 2 karmic relationships. Oh, and you just praying, please, I'm tired of these lessons. Where are my blessings? Managing those expectations. It's coming. It's coming. It really is. And when you expect the best, you get the best. So from the inside of yourself, on a vibrational level, if you are going to expect something, make sure that it is something that you truly want. A lot of people go through life expecting failure. Why are you going to start something if you expect to fail? What's the point? You might as well not even try. Expect to succeed. Expect to achieve and obtain whatever goal that is. Now, if this is in regards to a relationship with another human being, you have to take their free will into consideration. If you want to be in a relationship with somebody who's famous, like a celebrity or something like that, and they have their own free will. Let's take Nick Jonas, for example, who is happily married and a father, and you have this obsession with Nick Jonas and you just want to marry Nick Jonas. I don't think that's a realistic expectation. The man is happily married, okay? And you are someone who may work had an office job in Milwaukee, and it just is not, there's no real connection there. You know what I'm saying? And hey, you never know, maybe he down the road, is no longer married and decides to stumble into Milwaukee for, a show, and he sees you and falls madly in love. But I wouldn't bank on that. You understand me? It would probably be better if you met somebody in your town who maybe resembled him, but doesn't necessarily have to be him, right? So when it comes to managing your expectations, it's all about just understanding that other people have free will, and to take that into consideration as well too, especially if you're a parent. Being a parent, a lot of parents have extreme expectations for their children. And one thing, and I'm a disclaimer, I don't have kids, not in this lifetime, all right? And I'll explain why I don't have children just yet in another video. But in regards to children, a lot of, I was a child, okay? Well, here I am grown up. Of course, I had to go through that stage of childhood in order to get to adulthood. That just, you can't skip the process, right? So I was a child, and I know what it's like to have this pressure and what it feels like. And I'm sure you can relate to what you felt like if your parents put heavy pressure on you and told you, no, you have to get an engineering degree, or you have to go to nursing school, and all you wanted to do was play guitar. Maybe you were really good at it. And maybe you could have got on YouTube back in 2007 with Soulja Boy, and you could have been, blown up. But at the end of the day, now, there's a lot of regret and resentment that really sticks around, because you let somebody else make a decision for you. And parents need to be aware that, your child is a free being. They have their own free will. And as a parent, I don't have kids, I would suggest knowing your child and knowing what their talents are and what their skills are, and giving them the opportunity to take guitar lessons, or joining a band in middle school, or doing something with music, writing music, being a composer, and who knows where that can lead. That pays really well if they land a gig in an orchestra, or doing music for movies and production. So there's a lot of avenues in art. So expectations can really cause a lot of problems. But when you expect the best is very vague, because you may expect the best from your child, and your child may become one of the world's greatest composers since Mozart, if you let them follow their passion for music, right? That's expecting the best, right? Or you push them down a road and they become an engineer and they're miserable. It was the best for you in what you thought. You set up your retirement plan, but your child is unhappy about that situation. So it really isn't a win there. Managing your expectations can help you live a much better life, a much happier life, more peaceful life. Source energy is here. Your angels are here guiding you. They love you, and they want what's best for you. Everybody has guardian angels here. Everybody. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. You are divinely protected. But manage your expectations, though. Make sure they're in alignment with divine will, and make sure that you're expecting the best, because you're going to get it. With that being said, loved ones, thank you so much for tuning in to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.